Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Authentic Info Podcast. I'm your host, Adma Sandel. Now, there's a problem when it comes to internet access, in the village or villages in South Africa. And it affects a lot of us, those of us who stay in the villages and come from the villages. You know, it makes, access to information very difficult because these days information doesn't only move on books and newspapers. You don't have to go somewhere to get information, but information must come to you through the use of the internet. Now, I know that a lot of people who have access to the internet are going to say that this is not a problem. But those who do not have access to internet and those who have, little money to can try and buy, data bundles, but live in an area where the signal is very weak, will tell you the problem of internet access and how it affects them. But this is based on my experience as a village boy. I grew up in a place where signal was not bad, but gadgets were introduced to us by people who had an opportunity to go and work, in the cities, your Pretoria, your Cape Town, your Johannesburg, and things like that. And those who had an opportunity to go to universities, outside our province of Limpopo. And these are the people who would come back with, computers, laptops. But internet access, internet itself came later. And I think a lot of us were introduced to internet through the use of social media, your Facebook, Mixit, WhatsApp, things like that. So these are the apps which went viral, after 2010. Truly speaking, after 2013, 14, after the death of BBM, a lot of people had a chance, to use, phones which use Android system. So, but still, in the village, it's still a problem. Even if you have a smartphone, if connection is bad, if it's weak, there's nothing that you can do. But other than that, I speak for young potential content producers because there's money in content creation. And we see even footballers, the likes of Messi, the move that he made, it's not only for football, but for content and for the sale of merchandise. So there's money in content creation, and we are losing a lot of potential content creators from the village because if there is internet or if there is internet connection, the signal is weak. It's bad. And if it is not bad, the kids have no access to Wi-Fi, which I think should be an intervention by government. I mean, when you look at a podcast like Podcast and Chill, it took them 5 years to reach 1 million. Whereas if they were in South Africa, if they were in America or Europe, the way they've been very consistent and the type of content that they put in there, I think they should be now in maybe celebrating 15 million subscribers. But they are still doing 1 million subscribers after 5 years. So imagine that South Africans, had we had an opportunity to have internet access through Wi-Fi in the villages, it would be easy for Podcast and Chill to reach millions and millions of accounts or YouTube accounts or people, even in the villages. Because, for example, I come from a village and there are a lot of people. I think more than 13,000 households, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not talking about the people who have internet access. But even if they do have internet access, they still have the problem when it comes to affordability. So they need Wi-Fi. I mean, schools doesn't have Wi-Fi where I come from. And There's no clinic. So the only places to can put these Wi-Fi, if someone thinks they should help, I think we should create Wi-Fi hotspots, but it should be encouraged to be closer to schools, so as to encourage learners to study and learn. I think we can start in schools to have internet access 24 hours, not to have these hotspots next to shops, because most of the shops are not owned by our people. They are owned by foreign nationals. They are owned by Pakistans. They are owned by Somalians and Indians. So I think it should be a great initiative for those of us who identify that problem to try and come up with an initiative to connect the villages through Wi-Fi, and so as to give access to internet, to these young and potential content creators. I mean, TikTok today is like a resume, because you can be in TikTok talking about what you know or what you can do, and you can be in TikTok, uploading pictures of you doing your work, and people can recognize you from that app. But imagine a good painter, for example, where I come from, there's Elvis Bombe. There's a guy called Elvis Bombe. He's a good painter, but no one sees his work because he doesn't put his work on social media, because he doesn't have, that access to the internet, access to 5G free, and kept Wi-Fi. It doesn't have such. So I think, the government should intervene, business people should intervene. And these are the things that, our councillors should talk about, because, most villages are put on the map by young people rather than older people. We are no longer in an era where you have to publish a book so that you can be known. You can put on content on social media, and then you attract a company from America. They come and pick you from your village, and then sometimes they give something back to the village. Sometimes they can invest in your idea for it to work within your village. For example, there was this guy, although he's late, Agosto. Agosto he has built a car from scratch. Imagine if he had put all the engineering, all his hard work on internet for people to see him building this car. Someone from maybe Germany should have recognized him and built a plant in Guyana because of him, where vehicles are built. This is just an example. And these are the people who exist and existed in my village only. Imagine the story of another village. So I think the government, business people should look into that. And those who have, routers, when they are at home, I can encourage, young people who are in universities, when they are at home, they can just put it out there, give access to 20 kids, 15 kids, whatever, man, so that they can come and have free Wi-Fi and access the internet and learn new things in the internet and put, their work, their art there. They can sing and put it there. So I think it's something which is very interesting and something which is very serious that should be considered by everyone who have little to give. I'm not saying give me or give this channel, but I'm saying that wherever you are, you can give back to your village. Buy, free. There's this uncapped Wi-Fi from these network providers. Put it where you think it would be safe, and have someone to look after it, even if it's during the day, because you know that they are criminals. They can take it at night. Even if it's during the day, when there are people, you take it outside, kids come, they have a password, download whatever they want to download, enjoy this TikTok, YouTube, be on social media, create accounts, exist in all these accounts. We have threads now. They must be among the first people to download threads so that they can brag about it 10 years later, so that they can make business on these apps, growing up, with them, so that when these things are reintroduced to them, or they have their own internet access, free and kept or whatever, they are not clouded. They know how to use these things. They are used to these things. So access to information. Internet is also about access to information, not only social media where you create content, but you can learn to develop yourself, because these days it's not a matter of having a PhD in agriculture so that you can become a best farmer, but you can search information, download, start from home, look for funds, start a business on the internet, look for funds, approach businesses through emails and things like that. They fund you from home, and then you become the best farmer, one of the biggest farmer. You grow from home, and then you get land from the chiefs for free if you make a good representation, because some chiefs understands, some community leaders understand visions of young people. They can give you a land, and then you test an idea, and if it works, you create jobs, and then you make money for yourself, and you succeed. This is through information that you can get on the internet. So there's a lot, but I think there's a need, for internet access and accessible roads in the villages. But this segment is for internet access in the villages, to help a black child explore the world from home, from their palm, and learn about America, learn about opportunities that exist in Europe and things like that, and even apply, because there are a lot of our brothers and sisters in the villages who have studied, who have qualifications, master's degrees, some are PhD candidates, some have junior degrees and things like that, but they have qualifications, and they're sitting at home. They're waiting, for opportunities from government. They're waiting for opportunities from these companies, from where they stay. And if they have internet access that is for free, I mean, come on, even if you have a bad luck, if you can make sure that every day you drop a CV, you send a CV, you send your email to some company, one day, someone is going to pick up that call and call you. So there's a need for free internet access in the village, to put it straight. There's a need for free internet access in the villages. Even if it is controlled, even if it can be 2 gig a day per account, it's fine. It's fine, but it has to be for free, so that the young kids in the villages, even older people, can learn. There are older people who have businesses, there are others who are doing peanut butter, there are older people who have organized themselves, they sing. They just meet and sing. They have that group, that band. They just meet and sing as older people, and sing, religious songs, old traditional songs. And even if there can be someone who capture them, practicing, that is raw content. And then if this information or these videos can be seen, through social media, someone somewhere out there can recognize them, they can sign them and make this professional, and make and make money with them, and make sure that they build themselves houses, they take their kids and grandkids to school. So there's a lot, man, that internet and internet access can do, and that can unveil from the village. I see, TikTokers and YouTubers from the suburb, they have made it. They have their own level of content creation, but there's that raw content from the village that one we haven't seen. And I think if the world can be exposed to that, they will be very interested, to even visit South Africa, to meet these people and talk to them and interview them, and make money out of these interactions and engagement. So there is a need for internet access. There is a need for free Wi-Fi in the villages. There is a need, for computer libraries, computer labs, where kids go there and learn computers and learn how to explore the internet using a computer, because it's different from a phone. Desktop search and then the way we explore the internet using a phone, it's somehow different. And when you're using a computer, you can do a lot of things, same time. You can open different windows same time, and then the computer processes everything. So there's a lot that the government and business people needs to do, to invest in villages. And I'm challenging everyone who's watching this and who's yet to watch, to even challenge me. Refer me to my own video one day if now I'm making millions and I'm forsaking our people. But these are some of the projects that I think we should focus on because they are affordable. They're not that expensive. It's unlike building a sports center, which will need millions. I'm talking about something that which will need a commitment of at least 550 rand a month. To have a Wi-Fi hotspot for free. You know that you are paying. You have this commitment. But if companies can come on board, if the government can come on board, I think it can cover a lot of villages. It can be an initiative that even politicians can use to market themselves, to say we've went to 30 villages in Guyana. They all have free Wi-Fi, and they can also create jobs, for security guards to guard these to guard, these routers, outdoor routers, and make sure that at night they guard them. No one tampers with them, because when you try to introduce development initiatives in the villages, there are those who don't want that. There are those who want these things for themselves. There are those who don't see the need for these things. There are those who don't see the importance of these things, and then they destroy and go and sell them, cheaper. So I think it's an initiative that can bring change and development in the villages, and I think it should be supported. I'm also going to challenge myself one day to try and have to try and test this idea from where I come from and see where it takes me, how it goes and things like that. So thank you for watching. If you have something that we can work on, please reach out. My number is on the description. My email, I think, is also there on the description of the channel. My number is 07867999836, 07867999836. There's no need for us to do it in my village, but I'd like to be part of that initiative, just to be there, talk to the person who is going to invest in this idea, even if it's in any village, even if it's in Free State, Eastern Cape, wherever. I'm willing to be part of that so that I can learn and one day be challenged to one day go and implement this idea in my own village. So thank you for watching. This is Authentic Info Podcast. I'm your host, Admiral Sandile Chawube. There's a need for free internet access, free Wi-Fi in South Africa, especially the villages. Thank you.